All right. Okay. So I said I was going to go live last night. I didn't because my company stayed much longer than I thought they might. And so it was delightful. It was delightful and wonderful. And it did interfere with me coming live. So I apologize for that. But here I am. And yes, I'm on a different channel than my crime channel. Everybody else is doing it. So if else is doing it, I'll do it too, right? Which is have a different channel. So I do have a true crime channel. We do mostly trial testimony, or we talk about sensational crimes that have not yet come, to the courtroom or whatnot. So there is that. Now then, people that like true crime, they don't like drama. They don't want to listen to arguing. Most people don't want to listen to arguing. Most people don't want to be a part of the arguing because it's uncomfortable and makes you have bad feelings. And what does it accomplish? So, so I have a really specific reason for, kind of weighing in with an opinion on this whole thing. And I'm going to do it this way. First of all, in terms of being tough and aggressive and offensive, my dad, who's a wonderful person, he raised me in a way that, he instilled in me to be tough and to set goals and how to achieve those goals. But he taught me to be wise, I think, in saying that you may be tough and you may be mean, but there's always someone a little bit tougher, a little bit richer, a little bit smarter, a little meaner right around the corner. And you may end up running face to face with those people and end up in a situation that ends up badly for everybody. And that goes against the whole idea of goal setting and developing a life that is engineered rather than developing a life where you sort of become the product of a reaction and emotional distress, which is kind of what happens in the drama community on YouTube. Now, people that are comfortable with chaos, they like all the arguing and stuff that kind of fires them up and, it's kind of fun and all that. They like that, but it comes with a cost. And it generally, most of the time, it comes from a background where you have gotten comfortable with disagreement and you've gotten comfortable with discord and argumentative communication. And if you're one of those people that's the only thing that you know, then you end up trying to be the biggest, toughest person, in the room. And then again, how does that help you? So part of the critters, Pam, y'all found me. I'm over here hiding out and y'all found me. So good deal. All right. So, here's the problem. People do things that are offensive and hurtful and rude. And then there's a few choices you have to make. You have to make a decision to go away quietly and not respond. And that can be difficult. That can carry a lot of, if you don't have good coping skills, it can create a lot of anxiety to adopt that decision. Or you can fight back. Everybody wants to fight back, right? Want to dig out and have it out. So you can fight back. That's another choice. Or, and again, this is my preference in terms of my day-to-day living. My preference is I'm just going to live my life. I'm just going to live my best life and part of living my best life includes living a lifestyle that's based on goals, that I want to be awake and I want to be intentional as I'm going through my day-to-day life. I don't want to be that pretty silver ball in a pinball machine that's going ding, 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 and just bouncing off of whatever someone else does to me. That's not good for anybody. So I go with goals. I think about objectives. Even some days are the objective is relaxation. Some days the objective is I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna lay back, go sit out on the dock, maybe put the top down in my car and turn the music up too loud and just ride around Galveston, look at the ocean. Or maybe it's just to lay in bed and watch Netflix all day. But at least it's with intent. At least these choices that I'm making are because I have some level of understanding that I'm weary, I'm tired, and I need to rest. And so it's okay to have those days. Now, if I'm doing it because I'm depressed and I'm out of control and I've called in sick to work for a month and I'm not being productive, well, that's a health problem. I need to see a doctor. But if it's just that intent, I'm saying, oh, I'm so worn out. I've got to have some time to recharge my batteries and, get my head in a healthy place. Then I do. But again, it's my choice. I'm responding in a way that works for me and what my goals for my life are. So just because someone talks mean about you, talks ugly about you, you don't have to respond. Am I right, Critters and Pam? You don't have to respond. You really don't. I think that most people on YouTube or other social media that bait you, that kind of set up these uncomfortable situations trying to get you to have a response, those are people that are simply being calculating and they're wanting to get some channel views based on drama. So if you don't respond, they're not going to get their channel views. They can talk mean about you all day long, but how fun is that if you don't respond? Eventually, that person who only knows how to create toxicity, they only know how to create an environment where they are making fun of another person, then that's hard to do when you don't give them ammunition. If you are doing a channel where you have goals in mind and you have a plan in place and somebody jumps in and tries to distract you from your plan, if you don't let them, if you stay focused on your goals and objectives, then they just look stupid. Now, some of you are going to say, yeah. But what about when the channel is only about one person? I can accept that question and I understand why it can be a little uncomfortable, but here's the point. If that one person is someone who has abused you, if that one person is someone who intentionally tried to harm you, not just in YouTube land, but in your real life with your real children, is that bullying? I don't think so. I don't think that's bullying at all. In fact, I think that's taking back your power that person took from you. That's actually the whole reason for the going real life. When they go real life, that is intentionally to take your power away from you, or at least to give you that sensation that you have been robbed of your power. And it simply isn't true. I even had Mommy Ramblings, who's done it to me for years and years. She hasn't lately, don't get me wrong. This was historical, but lately, nothing. but back when she was doing all this, a lot of dog whistling, underhanded kind of, little things. One of the things she said one night that I'm sorry, Carolyn, I laughed at you. I literally laughed at you, and I thought, gosh, that is a very sad thing she just did for a grown woman to act that way. And it was the night that Carolyn was talking about me, the alleged person. And she said that she had come across two names, in her cryptic way, right? She'd come across two names. Both started with a C. Yeah, that's right. Both started with a C. Okay, so what she was doing, y'all might have just been going, the woman's crazy. She's insane. Granted, but she was communicating with me. She was threatening me. And what the threat was is that my children are named both letter C. Y'all didn't know that, did you? So that's what that was about that night. It was a silent message to me. I know who your children are. I've done a background check. I've slimed around in your Facebook. Yes, Carolyn, slimy. So when that happens, that was designed to sort of scare me, to frighten me, right? Which is really sad for an old lady, not me, Carolyn, which is really sad for an old lady like Carolyn to do to another old lady who's not worrying herself with Carolyn. I don't care about what she's doing. But in a bizarre, strange way, she's focused on me for a long time in a peculiar manner, and has a really hard time pulling away and separating from that. And that's okay. I don't respond to her. She says things, I don't respond. I don't care. The fact that two C's. I found two people and their names begin with C. Jules. Allegedly, Karen. Karen, you should be very afraid because I know the names of your children. Carolyn, I'm a public person. You do this weird talk where you say, oh gosh, you may think that you're anonymous. I'm anonymous. My face is all over the screen. What do you mean I'm anonymous? That's absurd. That's the most absurd thing. So it was a threat, not a threat of harm. I don't mean like a threat of bodily harm or anything. It was designed to take my power from me and make me worried. I was scared. She had the names of my children, who are both college graduates from colleges that you know the names of very well. High IQ, top of the line performance, great kids, people, young adults. I don't know. Hey, you know what? My husband's never been arrested. I've never been arrested. My children have never been arrested. We're all college educated. I don't know. What do you want me to be afraid of? Why are you whispering the name? Oh, their names begin with a C. Yes, they do. So I don't care. They'll laugh at you. Like my children would laugh. They are very independent. When my daughter was, I think 12, 13, 14 years old, she's flying around Europe on a 747 in business class with her little friend, going to her friend's house in Italy, back and forth from Italy to Cairo. My daughter knows zero fear, none. Like she is very powerful and very intelligent. And that is one you don't want to tangle with. She is tough as nails and beautiful and loving, so loving, and she would stop traffic on an interstate highway to make sure a turtle made it from one side of the road to the other. And she wouldn't care if you were mad. She wouldn't care if you were yelling at her. She'd be like, I don't care. That turtle has a right to life, and I'm here to ensure that that turtle survives this deadly crossing across this interstate. That's right. So those are what my kids are like. They are loving. They value human beings and humanity, but they value the natural world even more. And they are tough, strong people. So they would laugh at you if you tried to tell on me. They would just, if you called my son and told on me what I was doing, my son would go, that's my mom. We can't live with her. We can't live without her. We just can't take her out in public, but God love her. She's amazing. We love her. That's what you would get. He wouldn't be disturbed. I wouldn't get a phone call. Mom, you better behave yourself online. That would just never happen. He would be laughing, going, Mom, what did you do now? That's it. In my family, we laugh a lot and we love a lot. And sometimes we argue and then we laugh about arguing. That's who we are. So when these people that love to create trauma and discord, they do it with name calling. They do it with veiled threats. Sometimes they are overt threats. But YouTube has created this new class of bullies that kind of go beyond those accepted defined lines, of victim bully status. And that is the monetization of victimizing another. They've created something new. This is a new capitalistic venture that's never before been on the scene. That there's always been bullying. There's always been victimizing another. That's biblical, oldest time. But to capitalize on creating victims, that's something new. And AdSense, Google has, decided to make a little money off of that. Why not? It started with the reality shows, right? Went to the reality shows, and now, of course, here it is on social media. Specifically, YouTube, I think, is probably the most vile of all. And we came up with the new word troll to define this capitalization of bullying and victimization of another. And so, the malignant narcissist has found their playground. Can we agree? If you agree that YouTube has established a playground specifically for malignant narcissists to thrive, put a 1. What do y'all think? You think so? Pathetic are the channels with no contact, just being nasty. Exactly, critters. Absolutely. You remind me of a young Terry Garr. I've always liked her acting. I'm ashamed to say Terry Garr. Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Was she the mother? The blonde lady? Got some ones. Hey, Rochelle Black. Is that who Terry Garr is? Oh, lots of ones. Thank you, critters. Okay. So the YouTube has created the ability. She has MS and is in a wheelchair now. I had no idea. That's terrible. Christina Applegate also has MS. Very sick. I love her show about the murders that where she kills her husband. What's the name? I love that show. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. So YouTube is a perfect playground for the capitalization of bullying or creating a victim. Just for the fun of victimizing another, name calling, making up lies about them, attributing triangulation of friendships, right? That's YouTube. It's a nasty place, y'all. It's a dirty place. It's not, you can't be a normal person in YouTube world and make your decisions on how you're going to react according to how you would in your real life, because YouTube is much different. The dynamic, the sociology of the YouTube community or planet is very different than real life. And so, you may have there, I'm going to say this. There is a channel that maybe all of their content is on critiquing and using the words of another YouTube creator. The effects of that channel have been to shut down the bully on the other channel. I don't know if anybody's thought about that, but we got BBT Boston, who I'm going to make it perfectly clear. This is a woman that did not attack anyone. I was friends with her before this whole thing started more than 4 years ago. And what I witnessed was the most vile level of flying monkey organization and mission responsibility that I've ever seen among old people. It was vile. It was disgusting the way that BBT Boston was treated. That is the truth. I watched her be chased around from channel to channel. She left the Mommy Ramblings channel. She left that community. She wasn't talking about that community. She was trying to go and find another group. Now, would she have talked about her experiences in the other group? Probably, maybe, none of my business. But the point was, every time she would start to try to make friends in another group, she would be attacked by the flying monkeys. Some of whom, many of whom, have now approached me and apologized. And they're embarrassed by what they engaged in at the direction of Mommy Rambling, right? So while nobody else believed BBT, I knew what I had experienced. I knew what was a lie about me. And I was like, if this woman would do this to me, why wouldn't she do it to BBT? So because of what I experienced, I chose to believe BBT. And in 4 years of me and BBT being friends, do you know she has never, not once, said anything negative or hateful or mean about me. Even when Mommy Ramblings was going, oh, yeah, well, Jules thinks that BBT is her friend. But if she knew what BBT said about her and what she really thought of her, I was like, okay, well, we'll see how that turns out. And in more than 4 years, BBT has remained my friend. The other thing I haven't seen with BBT is I haven't seen her switching and changing alliances. I don't see the game playing. What I see with BBT is a person who was badly stalked and bullied and ostracized. These people didn't just do it online like children's play. These people went real life, and that is a crime. BBT was the victim of criminal behavior by a bunch of old ladies and a couple of old men. But that's the truth. And so the way that BBT has organized her channel, what she's done is that she has chosen to use the words of the victimizer. She's the bully. She's used that person's own words to illustrate what she experienced. That is not a hate channel. That looks like group therapy to me. That looks like a lot of people who have been targeted and marginalized by the same person finally getting their voices back, finally finding their own 2 feet. And I support that. I like people to be healthy, because if you're healthy mentally and physically, then you're much more likely to be happy and productive. And that's what it's all about. That's what life's about. That is not the same thing as being a calculating person who says, well, I know what my product is. I know what my product is. On my other channel, my product is talking about true crime, whether it's to talk about the motivations of crime, to critique evaluations and assessment related to criminal behavior, to just react with incredulity at fantastic violence. That's what my other channel's about. I know what my topic is, so I don't veer from that. I don't go on Allegedly Innocent and talk about Harry and Meghan, right? Even though I spend a lot of time reading and learning about their antics, their shenanigans, I don't talk about it on True Crime because nobody on True Crime wants to hear that. And the people on the True Crime channel don't want to hear this. And so I'm over on, a different channel where I can say whatever I want to say. Boom. Okay. So that's why I'm on this channel today, because something really important has happened and I have an opinion, and it's okay for me to voice my opinion, but I don't want to distract True Crime. People that love True Crime with this pettiness, what I think is pettiness, really. So some people are calculating because they want to make some money, right? They want to make some money. I don't have people in my channel, in my Allegedly Innocent channel. I don't have people in that channel that do a lot of super chats. I get a little tiny amount of super chats, little small amount. I don't get a lot of super chats. BBT does. BBT's getting super chats because she's got to pay an attorney. Let me make that clear. She's not getting super chats so she can go, eat at Papa Do's. It's an expensive, South Louisiana style restaurant. People are giving money or you see that kitty right there? That's a little pink Fenton cat. I paid way more for that cat than I should have. That is part of a fundraiser. I think the fundraiser is an absolutely important matter. I would have paid $200 for that cat. And I'm wearing my pearls. Look at my pearls. Yes, my fine jewelry. Again, paid way more than I should have, but I did it because it was necessary. It was a good cause, right? And that is to turn down the bullying, to put a stop to it. Put a stop to the lying. Just stop it. No retribution, no paybacks, nothing like that. Just stop. Just quit. Be kind to one another. That's it. So now we got another channel who's rising up from the primordial ooze. And I think there's a bit of calculation that's happening. And the calculation, well, it's hurtful. It's really hurtful to some people that are very good people. And I got implicated in it. And I didn't like that too much. And so I wanted to reach out and speak my piece on this. And then I'm going to, with intent, I'm going to ignore the gelatinous creature rising up from the primordial ooze. It's just going to be over. But here's what I think is happening. I think that person is being nasty to my friend for no other reason. Cash. That's it. She wants those people who do super chats in BBT's channel to switch alliances to her channel. Now, you may ask me, hey, what's the difference? What's the difference between BBT's content where it's only showing mommy ramblings words to make a point, to reveal the bullying type of behavior that was happening in there? I don't think it's happening now, but was happening there a lot. What's the difference between that and the primordial ooze? How is that different? Well, here's how I think that it's different to me. I'm willing to, maybe I'm wrong, but this is just the way I kind of conceptualize it. With BBT, I've never seen her go after anyone else. Never. Isn't that weird? More than 4 years. She is using the person that harmed her and marginalized her, tried to destroy her parenting, her legal ability to be a parent to her children. This is vile. For someone to interfere with custody or to go on their own channel and make these snide little underhanded remarks about custody, like she said about me, oh, the people with 2 C's, those 2 people, their names start with C. That's just gross. It's embarrassing, Carolyn. It was embarrassing. Something a self-respecting adult would not do. It's just embarrassing. It's just silly. And what BBT has done now is she's used the words as proof that she is not a liar. She's proving through these videos, she's proving to everyone that tried to say that BBT was a liar and that BBT was attacking Mommy Ramblin' and all that. She's proving that that's not true. That's not what happened to her. She's proving that with her channel. She's essentially got a reaction channel is what she's put together, but in a way that is very unique, I think, and very different that I've seen from other reaction channels, that it's very intentional. There's very specific goals that she's highlighting for each of these videos. So yeah, maybe all the videos many of the videos are about, she's using clips of Carolyn. She's not going after Carolyn, like just randomly manipulative. It's specific to, no, I didn't lie. Okay, so I get that, because Carolyn, that woman, well, as we say down here in the South, we say maw call, but we also say, you know what? That woman would climb a tree to tell a lie. I bet Critters has heard that saying before, right? That's what we talk about in the South, isn't it? Ooh, you better watch them there. Climb a tree to tell a lie. All right, now then. So I think that BBT and Double E have done a great job in proving reality. I believe that in my heart and soul, the truth of who was really harmed. As she said, oh, I've never talked about Jules of Thought. I never said a word about Jules of Thought. I don't know Jules of Thought. And then boom, gosh, there's a whole video that shows that Carolyn's saying I'm an alcoholic. She back on the sauce. It's just so silly, Carolyn. It's so silly. It's so silly. Oh my gosh, it's so silly. That is different than someone who's trying to grow their drama channel. They're trying to grow their drama channel, and they've got to collect some subscribers from somewhere. There's not a lot of people that are in the whole drama community that like that kind of discussion every night. And so she's got to get their attention somehow. And BBT's subscribers, they do super chats. So that's a really great place to go in and try to see if she can get some of those subscribers to come to her channel. And of course, she's elevating herself and her level of importance. And she's saying, that she is so great. I don't do that. I don't play that hate bonding. I don't do that. No, you're just operating on a whole trauma bonding contingency. So I don't know what that means. You don't do the whole hate bonding. That's your bread and butter, it looks like. But the point is this. Why don't you just grow your channel talking about people that are really hurting others? Why are you choosing someone who is a really nice person? Why aren't you doing that? I just can't. Don't get me wrong here. Anybody, please don't get me wrong. I'm not white knighting. I'm not even flirting with the idea of white knighting. I'm just, if you're a creator in the drama community and you continually build up alliances and then tear them down, and then build up alliances and tear them down, and then build up alliances and tear them down, and then build up alliances and tear them down, and build up alliances and tear them down, you may be mercenary. You actually may be a person who's only trying to monetize pain and heartache. And if you are comfortable with trauma, if that's something that you've been associated with since childhood and you're comfortable with it, then maybe you don't see anything wrong with hurting another person so that your paycheck can be a little bigger. But most people did not grow up in trauma. Most people are uncomfortable harming, targeting, going after another person. It's hurtful. And I'm going to be the first one to stand here and say, not as white knighting, but just as reality, BBT Boston has not built up alliances and torn them down, and then built up and torn down and built up and torn down. No, she is a person that I have watched for 4 years who has acted on YouTube with intent and a goal. She is not making up lies. She is using clips of the real bully. And Natasha, that woman targeted you in a way that was criminal, in my opinion. I don't mean BBT, the other woman targeted you in a way that was criminal. It was horrible. Not only the way that she went after you, but even some of the people that were regulars in your channel. It was terrible. It was terrible. I lost subs when you came into my channel one day and you came up on panel and you kind of told your part of what was happening to you and whatnot. I gave you that platform because I experienced that from the same woman. BBT experienced it from the same woman, and you did. You were just one in a long line. I mean, the number now on the list is something like 38 or 40 people that she's targeted in the same way. I gave you that, and at the same time that you're up on my panel and I'm giving you the place to talk. And I'm saying to you, hey, you're preaching the choir. I know I experience the same thing. So I believe what you're saying. I'm not questioning what you're saying. I believe you. At the same time that is happening, I'm getting emails from people going, ooh, don't trust her. Don't, be careful. That's a bad one. And I'm like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe she's just like every other one of those people. Sally Ann, me, BBT, all of us. They got targeted by that specific person, I think, as part of, like her channel growing philosophy, I guess, or plan. I'm horrified by what you said the other night, last night, or maybe it was today. I don't remember. I'm horrified. What do you mean? Oh, I don't do that hate bonding. I don't do that trauma bonding. Stop. Quit. If you're doing so great over in your channel, if things are going so well over in your channel, why are you targeting BBT? Why? Oh, I know. You'll probably target me now too. That's fine. Trust me. I mean, I hope you don't. I hope that we can just have a conversation like, adults. And so I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about a channel that's only got that there's one topic, on the channel. I understand that. But I don't think you're completely understanding what the purpose of that channel is. This is a woman, I'm talking about BBT. This is a woman who was targeted and the focus of an organized bullying campaign that went from internet to real life. Exactly what happened to you. Exactly what happened to you. It was unforgivable. It was unforgivable. But why now? Why go after her now? What's that about? What's the point of that? What is it? What's your song say? What's the opening song? Let's give them something to talk about. A little mystery won't hurt much. No. You did. Yeah. This is just a game that you're doing here. You're just wanting to stir that pot, like we like to say down south. He's trying to stir the pot. You're trying to give them something to talk about. You're trying to put some oomph into the drama community, right? Why are you going to go after somebody? Why are you going to do that? You need the names of some bad actors. You want the names of some bad actors that really could use some of your good old-fashioned Southern flavoring. There's some people out there not related to MRB's channel, and they're nasty people. They're awful, horrible people. There's some people that you want to target. You could target. Why are you going to go after this woman? It's a real shame. It's a real shame. Yeah, exactly, Pam. I know. Yep. So, I think that this person will continue what they're doing. I saw how she operated against Carolyn, and I think she'll continue that here. But if BBT does not respond, then it'll be boring. If BBT doesn't respond, if BBT continues according to her training, if she continues to operate, treat her YouTube channel like a business, and continue to stay true to her goals and objectives, BBT. Okay? You know exactly. You know what goals and objectives are. You know how they keep us on track when we're teaching and working with other people and whatnot. It's the same way with your channel. Why do you have a channel? What are you trying to achieve? What is the purpose for it? That's it. Okay, this petty crap that has bubbled up over the past 48 hours or so, this petty little drama game, capitalization of victimizing others, this is not part of your goals and objectives, BBT. This is far outside. These are the goals and the objectives of the football coach, not your goals and objectives for your channel. You're trying to educate in your channel. It's the football coach who's trying to break legs and, cause people to bleed. But not as an educator, you're just trying to bring out facts and truth, right? So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just you don't have to answer to it. You don't have to fight back. You don't have to attack others and get all down in the mud and muck. Just remember the goals and objectives of your channel, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. That's it. I don't want to see anyone fighting. I don't want to see anyone fighting. I don't want to see anybody being hateful. Gosh, it's so hurtful. My God, how many people end up crying because of the stuff that happens in the drama community? It's just sad. It's so. No, we all have a choice on how we want to use our platforms. We all have a choice. Look at BBT. Nobody said this. BBT used clips of another creator who was being really hurtful to others in real life, not just online, but in real life. She used the actual words of the creator to tell the story and to educate people, to prove that she herself was not the liar. And she's accomplished that. But what was the unintended consequences, BBT and Devilly? What were the unintended? What happened that you didn't expect, or at least I didn't expect it to happen? Maybe you did, but I didn't expect it. But now that it has, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. The bullying has stopped. The constant, underhanded, hateful little comments, it's all stopped now. It's just, she's gone back to doing her original type of content and everybody is happy. It's a good thing. You single-handed, well, together, the dynamic duo, the two of you together, y'all put a stop to all of that hate that was coming out of that channel. Y'all stopped it. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing. You don't have to respond to this. I know. We like to get down in the dirt, throw mud, all that good stuff. But then at a point, then we become weary from it. And lots of people get upset and sad, and it's not good. So just stay true to your goals and objectives and move forward. And in the other channel that's kind of orchestrating, I think, this new drama to bubble up, I think she's probably a nice person. I do. And I think she's found a way. I think she's smart, and I think she's found a way to make easy money. And, she's just got to find the right person to go after this time around. But she goes after a lot of people, historically, there's been a lot of different drama, but that's the nature of the drama channels, I guess. But I don't have any negative, I don't think bad about the other person, or, they've never done anything to me. And I think she's funny. I think she's got a, great sense of humor and all that. But I don't think BBT is the right one to go after for this. I I think the cost has been really high. And I'll tell you, man, that thing that played out with you and Mommy Ramblins was tragic, horrible, over the top, just awful. So, why would anybody want to go back to that? Why would it's such a waste of energy? And BBT needs some space and you know I think here's the other thing too. You have written book. I'm talking about Natasha has written books, and she does the whole true crime thing. And you're talented, right? I mean, you're a real writer and all that. I mean, look at it this way. If you decide to carry on with this whole BBT thing, eventually it's going to burn itself out. Then you're going to have to find somebody else, right? Don't give in to that urge. I know it's easy money. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just make your true crime stuff you're good at it. People enjoy it. It's a little more work, but Anyway, I just felt like I think I may be one of the few people. I'm probably wrong about that. There's probably others too, not just me. But the difference with me, I think, is that I really have only wanted to do the true crime stuff. That's really all I've gotten it. I've gotten sometime I've found myself accidentally wandering into the whole drama thing, and I look back on that now with wisdom, and I think, oh, that was my first step. I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have done this, or shouldn't have done that. And it was pretty disastrous. And I've learned, all I want is just to talk about the whole true crime thing. I have a real aversion to hurting feelings and screaming and yelling. And I don't feel comfortable with it. And I think the difference with me and where BBT is concerned is that I've watched what she's experienced through the years, and in many ways it paralleled what had happened to me, with one glaring exception. The glaring exception was that I never knew Carolyn. I never have spoken to her. Nothing. We have no kind of history at all. In a bizarre way, she just kind of started thinking she knew me. It was kind of strange. But regardless, BBT did know her. BBT had gone on her channel and they had talked a lot, had phone numbers back and forth and all that. But mine was nothing like that. So I knew that she had told blatant, ostentatious lies about me. So as BBT's trying to be heard and say these were lies, I believed her at a time when people were really, going against her really hard. And I was like, no, what she's saying parallels exactly what has happened to me. And that woman is saying that I'm lying. It's far from lying. And no, I saw what happened with BBT. And for 4.5 years, I have watched, me and BBT have been friends. And I've watched this, and she doesn't go after other people. That's where you're making, when you choose someone to stir the pot and get some money flowing and get some drama going, BBT's not the girl. That's not the one you want. She has not been a shit stirrer. She has not been part of the drama community. She's not done that. She's not. She does have a channel where she's targeting the bullying, the lies that were told about her, and she takes clips to illustrate her truth. She's like a receipt channel, I guess. It's not. Go through and look. Find somebody else that she's targeted. She's taken back her power. She was treated badly. She was bullied. She was stalked into her real life. And she is using her platform to take back her power and to tell the truth for what happened to her. That's not what you're doing. I really hope you'll consider what I said. And baby T, goals and objectives. You have an objective for your channel. You know what your goal is. Stick to your objectives. Don't get sidetracked. All right. I'm done. All right. So let me ask you guys this. Thank you, Pam. So let me ask you this. I didn't say anything mean, did I? In the beginning of my YouTube, I saw that she was not someone I wanted in my world. I fought a lifetime to get away from that vile environment. Yeah. It's okay, right? Thank you. I love my office too. Yeah. I'll tell you what I love the most about it. My desk is huge, so I have lots of room for my book. I have bookshelf now. Thank you. No more stacks of books on the floor around me. I've got a big desk. It's basically two desks. It's a desk this way and then the desk this way. But I love more than anything, I love my speakers. I've got some great speakers. And so now when I'm not having patient or clients, when I'm not having clients and writing notes or whatever, I just jam up my music, man. Van Morrison, Into the Mystic. The Light Show Bunny. Yeah, well, because that is the White Rabbit on Alice in Wonderland. So he's a magic rabbit. See his clock? I'm late for a very important date. And then so this is the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And this is the Save Your Drama for Your Llama. That's my drama llama. She's got a pink bow in her hair. That is a Fenton kitty cat. And then that little mermaid sign back in the very back, somehow it's not centered. It was supposed to be centered. It says, mermaids don't concern themselves with minnows. All right. So who do you think the mermaid is and who are the minnows? Going down a rabbit hole. Yes. So this is going to be my Prince of Perfidy channel. This is going to be my channel dedicated and devoted to Haz and the Harkles. Haz Harkle. Do y'all know who that is? I said has been, but I felt like that was it's a little bit aggressive, you know. So I'm going to talk about the royals. What we can go ahead and talk about. Who wants to talk about that right now? You want to talk about the royals? Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try to share this. I should have put some makeup on the devil. I want to share this. Okay. And I'm going to do hashtag jewels of thought. And we're going to do the Harples. And Meghan and Harry. All right. Oh, what was the other one? Harry. I don't like Harry and Meghan are liars. That's a little too aggressive for me. Let's see. Meghan and Harry are hypocrites. Ooh, that one's a good one, right? Not too aggressive, not too mean. Should have put some makeup on, though. Elon Musk says, what rules do you want the government to change? Really, Elon? Really? You ain't got time, Elon, to hear all my opinions on the government. Epstein is trending, bank collapse is trending, and FDIC is trending. And this morning, there were two more banks that there were two more banks this morning where they shut down trade. Yeah, First Republic, not now they're saying Charles Schwab is going under. Where is it? I saw it this morning on my Market Watch. Anyway, not gonna think about that right now. So, okay, so we can talk about who has a new mistress. My daughter told me Harry is doing microburst, some kind of mini hallucinating drug. A microburst? Microburst. Is that ketamine? I'm thinking it's ketamine. Let me see. Microburst. Ketamine? I think it might be ketamine. Yeah. Valium, Rohypnol, and ketamine region. Cardiac changes. Microdosing ketamine safely. How do we know? Is this something that he said he's doing, or are these rumors? It's so even though low dose ketamine, the current practice for using ketamine for mental health has powerful dissociative effects. Here we explore the alternative, very low dose ketamine. In this article, you can learn how to microdose ketamine safely and hear one woman's story about overcoming her eating disorder with ketamine. Now, first of all, without getting into the thicket here on this controversial, yes, yeah. So without getting into the thicket on the whole ketamine therapy, right off the bat, critters, there has to be a documented history of intractable depression that has failed multiple types of treatments and therapies. So it's not like you can, your husband has an affair, you get depressed, and so you go and say, excuse me, I would like to do some microdosing. I'd like some ketamine treatment, because they're going to turn you right around, march back out the door, and go, whoa, whoa, whoa. You got a whole list of things you got to try before we ever get close to the ketamine thing. I believe that this is not something that I have. I know what it is. I've been exposed to it in research only. and it is, I believe, I hope I'm not misspeaking. If I'm wrong about this, then go ahead and correct me, but I'm not lying. I'm just trying to, without without researching and not being something I work with all the time. I believe that if they have approval to do the ketamine treatment, I think it has to be done by an anesthesiologist. I think it has to be. I think it's very few people that doctors that have been approved for this particular type of treatment. For a lot of reasons. It's dangerous, right? You get in there and you start mucking around with dopamine on that level. I don't want anybody messing with my dopamine. You know what I mean? Make me have dreams while I'm awake. No. Another word for that is schizophrenia. No, I don't want to. There's magnet treatments that are really showing good results, and you don't have this problem with dissociative amnesia and violent psychosis. And I mean, some of the side effects to ketamine are like a horror show. Now, are they also showing very good results for people that have not responded to manipulations in levels of serotonin and norepinephrine? Yes, it is, but now that they also have new medications that primarily target dopamine as well. So, I don't know, ketamine is a little scary. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it. I have not directly worked with that particular, population, people that are undergoing ketamine treatment. I have not done that. But I've read a lot about it, and anecdotally, there's talk, but yeah, I don't know, it's a little worrisome. But listen, there's people that will save their money for years and years and years to be able to go down into, the Brazilian Amazonian rainforest and ayahuasca, and which is the same type of thing. But with ketamine, that is something that is, it is a last line defense. It's sort of like, you could think of it a bit like, well, not really, because that's been around a long time. But insurance will pay for it. But it is a treatment that is restricted to very few people that can qualify, because you do have to have that demonstrated long history of treatment and therapies that have failed. And, it's tough. So I don't know. How do we know that? Who said that he's doing it? Supposedly, the State Department is talking about taking away his visa because of his drug use. Hallucinations are a major part of his daily routine to keep him sane. He wasn't insane. What is that? He wasn't insane because he's a helicopter pilot. You can't fly a helicopter if you're crazy. You have to think, you have to realize that neurotransmitters that are so disrupted that you can now be insane, right there, that is going to interfere with your efficient cognition. You're not going to be able to remember things you've already learned. You're not going to be able to learn new things in a timely manner. You're going to have movement disorder if your dopamine levels are too low. There's a no. If you can go through the training and effectively fly an aircraft, especially a helicopter, helicopter's kind of hard to maneuver. You're not Harry. You're not crazy. Maybe you're being manipulated, Harry. Just saying. Seems like since you got paired up with that little tart, seems like a lot of people that loved you and protected you for a long time seem to have exited stage left. Who's going to be left for you, Harry? Now you guys are in the process of even losing out your friendships with Barack and Michelle Obama because she decided to take on Michelle on a public platform. So now she's arguing with Michelle. What do you think is going to happen to your friendship with Barack Obama? Better be thinking about that, Harry. Yep. Hey, Vicky Carpenter, welcome. I think he has severe depression. Yes, it's happened since his marriage, Pam. There wasn't, it wasn't long ago. There was someone, let me see. I remember reading about it and wondering what in the world they talking about. But then I wasn't paying attention because I was watching the market. Let me think. What do I Google? Woman dies from Prince Harry controversial treatment. Oh my gosh. And while we're talking about the Harkles, says Meghan was not treated like a black woman until moving to the UK. One thing I noticed about pictures of her, pay attention to the part in her hair and the tone, the skin tone of the part in her hair compared to the color of her face. And the color of her hands next to her face. I'm sorry, but it looks like she's putting on really dark makeup. Prince Harry and his decade of magical thinking. Now it's not that story. Now it's not coming up. That's weird. I'll try to find it. It was a story, I think it was on Fox News, if I remember correctly. And it was the day or so after Harry had admitted to drug use. And now, from what y'all are saying today, the whole uh, psychedelic, hallucinogen, uh, ketamine treatment, I guess. And that there was a woman whose husband spoke, and that his wife, after learning about Harry and the treatment that he was getting, that his wife tried the treatment, it made her go crazy. Well, it's a hallucinogenic, she dissociated, and then she died. She died. And he was interviewed on Fox News. And so I don't want to spend any more time looking for it because there's so much more of the Harry and Meghan stories that are coming up. But I'll find it And next time I go live, I'll have it ready for us. I wasn't gonna talk about it today, but I thought, well, I'll see if I can find it, but I'll look for it. So the thing that I want to talk about today related to the Harkles is this idea that Harry and Meghan were pushed out of England, or were they invited to leave, or they chose to leave? Like what is the real story outside of all the hyperbole and drama and whatnot? So it was on January of 2020 that they announced their decision to step back as senior members of the British royal family. Now, originally, their plan, what they said was, is that they were going to split their time, half the time in the United States, half of the time in Great Britain, and Frogmore Cottage was going to be their home of record in England. And then they bought a cozy little $13 million place in California to just call home. Now, they're independently wealthy. Um, Harry was left a sizable fortune by the death of Diana. He also is said to have received some money directly from Granny, Queen Elizabeth, which I find is very interesting. Um, he got money from her when she died, but apparently Prince Andrew did not. Now that is scandalous all on its own because Andrew was in fact the Queen's son, is her natural child. He didn't get any money. She left it all to the king, Charles. Left it all to the king, but apparently William and Harry were treated equally, and they were given an inheritance, but not Andrew and all of his sordid affairs, right? So he has money, he has cash, and when you think about motivation and you consider why is he doing what he's doing, it's important to realize he's not hungry. Harry and Meghan have plenty of cash, right? They paid cash for a $13 million estate. Um, they're not hurting for cash. They're good for money. But what happened January 2020 that even heralded their exit? Like what was the storyline? Because what they claimed when they came out on the 8th of January and they said, that they had made this decision to leave the royal family, or they had made the decision to leave their roles as working royals. Those are specific words. They didn't disown the royal family. Harry didn't say, I'm no longer a part of this family. That's not what he said. He said, we will no longer be working. What that means apparently is they didn't offer Meghan a job. That's what it means. So we know now, as of about I guess it was last week, maybe 10 days ago, we know that there was reporting in England where the confusion was cleared up, and it went a little something like this, that the king is looking at all the people in the family that are working, including his brother and sister, William, Kate, all the people that are representing the royal family. Well, apparently Charles has to pay them. So he gets the large nest egg. He's in charge of all the jewels. And I just want to be in charge of those jewels day. One day, 24 hours. I would just sit in the jewel room and just soak up all that sparkle. You know what I mean? So anyway, apparently he gets this whole, nest egg, and it's a sizable sum, and then he makes the decision, what is our role for England? What do the people want us to do? What do we have to do? What should we be doing? Who are the people that can fulfill those roles? And here's what I'm willing to pay each of them. Now, Harry's a working royal. He's a working royal, right? He's for a while he was in the military. Well, he got paid by England while he's in the military, but then he left the military. He was getting a stipend. I don't know if he still gets it or not, but he was getting a stipend. But when he would serve in an official capacity, going to South Africa, for example, that's what he got paid for. So another way to look at it is Harry was getting a nice allowance from his father. He was getting a nice allowance from the Queen. Queen passed away. Now the king comes in. He's got to make a new budget, people. There's only so much money to go around in this royal family. And times are hard. Let's face it. COVID lockdown did a number on everybody's, budget, including the king. So the king has to come up with a budget and say, well, we got to have this person appear in this parade, and this person has to go to this ribbon cutting, and this person has to, watch Camilla, and got to get it all and make sure I got enough people to cover it. But I don't want to be paying somebody to just lay around the pool all day, Andrew. The king didn't want to take part of his royal nest egg to pay for, Andrew to hobnob with the perverse and obscene on islands in the Caribbean. He didn't want to pay for that. So basically he told Andrew, "You're out, buddy. You're done. No more working royal for you. I hadn't got a job for you, Andrew. Goodbye." So he cut that debt. But Harry was a working royal. In fact, he was one of the first line, you know, William, Kate, and Harry, they were the most desirable of the royal family. I mean, beside the king, they were the most desirable. He didn't get fired. The king didn't say, "Oh, sorry, Harry, I time hard, can't pay you, buddy." No, absolutely not. Harry had an important part in the royal. But where do you think things went wrong? Yeah, Meghan. She's hungry for attention. She is hungry for significance. And apparently, when she moved into England, she was causing quite a lot of problems. They had people that had worked for the royal family for decades who helped bring Harry and William into the world, and longtime employees of the Queen, and they were like the most trusted part of the family. But when they said, "We want you to help Meghan, she's having a hard time adjusting," they quit. They head for the hills. They were like, "Man, I had never seen a woman like Meghan. No, sir. She is playing on a whole different ball field. I don't get it. I can't work with her. Sorry, queen, but I'm out here." Right? So Meghan came in and she was problematic. She was proving to them, "Ooh, this is not gonna be a woman that's gonna be easy to work with. She's gonna be hard to keep around. We don't really wanna invite her to family dinners," if you know what I mean. Now they have twisted the narrative. They have tried to claim that it was related to her African American mother. They just say, "Oh, well, she's a black woman." They don't ever talk about, well, she's got a Caucasian father. Why don't we just say she's a person? Why does she resort to really dark foundation? Why is she trying to kinda, like, play up the African American side versus the Caucasian side? Because then it makes it harder to run with that narrative. "Oh, the King of England is racist. They shut me out of being a working royal because I have dark. Well, it turns out that really wasn't the problem at all. She began saying that she and Harry were pushed out of the family, that they would not be given an opportunity to work for the crown. That's not what would happen at all. We now know, as of last week, we now know that the king approached Harry and said, "I'm not going to be able to put Meghan on payroll. Your position is not threatened. Your job is not threatened. You'll continue to work for the crown, and you have an office, and you remember when they did that whole thing about, oh, they got rid of Harry's office. They blocked Harry from entering his office. No, that's not what happened at all. The king said, "Your position has not changed at all. You got an office, you've got official royal duties, we're paying you, we want you, we love you, and I wish that I could offer a place for Meghan, but I just can't. We just don't have that role right now." And I think that's when Meghan went crazy. I think that's when what did Harry say? She was on a ball in the kitchen corner quivering and crying. So Meghan got angry because she's special. She was gonna be a working royal. It's not enough to be a duchess. You're a duchess, Meghan. She wanted to be paid to be a royal. The problem was is that the king said, I can't pay her. I'm sorry, we don't have room for her." And I think she forced Harry. I think she issued an ultimatum, and I think it went a little bit like, "Well, either we're treated equal to William and Kate, or we're out. Trust me, Harry, your dad is not gonna let you leave. Your dad will never let you leave. We're just gonna strong arm him a little bit, give him a little bit of push, and he'll make a place for me, and then I'll be a true royal princess." That's what I think happened. I think that's when the whole fight happened. The pushing, shouting, yelling match, all that. I think that's what happened. I think Harry went in and tried to strong arm and push them around and force them to give Meghan a job, and they were just like, "We have made our decision. That is not gonna happen. That's not." Someone should have said to Harry, "You are not equal. You and Meghan are not equal to Harry and Kate specifically for this. There will be a King William, and there will be a Queen Kate, period. They are going to be the throne, the crown. You will not. It You have now been pushed down 3 different people. There's 3 heirs in front of you at this point. You'll never, ever take the throne, and that makes you more like the king's brother. They have a place, they have an honorable place, but they won't ever be the heir to the throne. They won't th I don't know, unless an asteroid hit the planet. I can't imagine a scenario that would result in that many people dying at one time and leaving one lone standing, royal. I don't think that's gonna happen. So it's very interesting to pay attention to the wording, how how Harry and Meghan were treated with disrespect. They were kicked out. They put them out. King chose William over Harry because it's racist. No other reason. He Harry had the audacity to marry an African American young woman, and that's it. Poor Harry got kicked out, disowned. That's what happened. Not a bit. They could have continued on, no problems, everything normal, and the only difference would have been is that Meghan would not have gotten a paycheck from the crown. That's all. Her husband would still be making money. He still had his inheritance, lots of it. She still been treated probably equal to Kate, would be my. So, I don't know. I think, today this whole video has been a bit about, manipulative behavior and creating drama to capitalize on, and all that. I think Meghan I think that realization that Meghan and Harry lied, blatantly lied about how it was that they came to leave Great Britain. Um, they 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 made they demonized the royal family and said that they treated me and Meghan differently because she's African American, rather than telling the truth, which was economically, the king did not want to offer a job to Meghan. But it had nothing to do with Harry's job. He was still employed, he was loved, he was wanted, and they've even got to the point now they've said, "Oh, King Charles never hugged Harry. He never got a hug. He never hugged." And then how many people came out of the woodwork with photographs of them hugging? Yeah. "Harry, honey, you're being manipulated. Lay off of the hallucinogenics, lay off of all the drugs that you're on, find you a good old-fashioned clinical psychologist who will have to protect your confidentiality, who will not even be able to say, 'Oh, yes, Prince Harry is my patient.'" That licensed psychologist cannot tell someone they're working with you, Harry. And if they can't tell, then they won't be worried about how they're gonna capitalize and exploit you. And maybe you'll find someone who knows a little bit about depression and trauma and can help you get on the right path so you can feel happy and enjoy your life rather than being led around like you got a bullhorn, a bull nose ring. You gotta put a stop to it, Harry. You grew up in a protected manner. You had people watching out for you forever and ever and ever. You were not prepared for the likes of Meghan Markle and her level of expert manipulation. Just were not prepared. Make a clean break. Find you a licensed psychologist, someone who cannot tell that they're working with you. Get your head on straight, and then find you some good attorneys and get some visitation with your kids. And then go to South Africa and build you a house and spend the rest of your life doing what you love to do, running around on the savannah. But you are not prepared to deal with those people in Hollywood. That is the truth. All right. I feel like Meghan wanted to isolate Harry, but don't all abusers do that, right? Isn't that the first step? It's very hard to manipulate a person and abuse of a person if they have support structure around them. So the very first step for an abuser is to isolate, divide and isolate. That's the first step. Beatrice and Eugenie do a lot of good work. Absolutely. Yep. Andrew, he's out. He's done for. That Epstein thing got him. The Queen was no fool. William and Kate also work day and night. Absolutely. And the thing about William and Kate that I like is that they haven't lowered themselves to this public tit for tat. I like that. I think that was the they stay focused on their goals and objectives, right? Okay. I don't know, Pam. I don't think I isn't Andrew kicked out? I thought he wasn't even allowed in the palace. Randy, so embarrassing. I don't know about this whole mistress thing, Pam. I don't know. Okay, well, I am gonna be done for today. What do y'all think? I am gonna be changing the name of this channel. Right now, it is Say What You Will or Say What You Wish, something like that. Anybody wanna guess what I'm gonna name it? What's the name of the channel gonna be? Come on, critters. What's the name of the channel? Hey, Mimi. Mimi is back. Good to see you. What am I gonna rename my channel? The information about the mistress came out this morning. I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna be watching the banks fail too. I hope you guys went got some cash. They'll need a couple $100, I think. Friends, it's prob this whole thing about a mistress, this is probably just trash, by uh Megan. Probably not even remotely true. Rose Hanbury is trending. See, this is how bad it is. Rose Hanbury is trending on social media, but what they're not telling you is that Rose Hanbury is Kate Middleton's best friend. She is married to David Rock Savage, the seventh Marquis of Comondele. Shaw, no, it's got to be Colmondele. Sorry, y'all, got it wrong. That can't. I guarantee you that is got Meghan Markle's fingerprints all over it. And can, to be truthful too, kings and princes have a long history of being unfaithful, right? Not that it makes it okay. Apparently, the gossip, I don't believe it, but the gossip is that William wanted to be off on February 14th so he could spend time with his mistress. The two had a romantic dinner alone. Well, if they were alone, then who the hell says they were together? Saw them. That's silly. The two were spotted at a fancy Italian restaurant in London. Oh, so they weren't alone. They were in a restaurant full of people. According to a worker, Prince William gave Rose an ostentatious pearl necklace. Look at my pearl necklace. Look at my pearl necklace. This would not be the first time that his office leaves the prince's schedule free to facilitate meetings with Rose. You're so stupid, Rose. Remember, you jump, I jump. You remember, Rose? But all the statements have not yet been confirmed by Buckingham Palace. They are speculative, you think? The rumors of infidelity increased when Kate herself, during one of her royal duties, assured that she did not expect any detail from William for Valentine's Day. I don't think he will do, the princess responded to a florist who asked if William would buy her flowers. This happened during her official visit to Kirkgate Market. In addition, William's Valentine's Day plans come amid the revelation of an unpublished photo with Rose that revives the scandal of 2019. However, it all remains a rumor. Then why in hell are you posting it? I'm looking at this picture. That is not even William. William is not fat. This man in this picture is fat. Come on, Megan. You got to do better than this, girl. Rose Hanbury was one of Kate Middleton's best friends, married since 2009 to David Rock Savage, mother of twins. Kate has banned her husband's mistress from attending royal events and broke off the friendship. This was written by Lillian Torres. Lillian should be held responsible for what she's written. Says she's not very pretty. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. My apologies. Let me restate that. Rose Henbury looks like a wilting flower compared to the loveliness of Princess Catherine. I'm going to prove that. Present. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here she is right here, people. No, not you. I'm sorry. Catherine is the standard. She is the classic beauty. Am I right, critters? Tell me. Am I right? Classic beauty. This Rose chick, sorry. Why in the world would William even think twice about making his princess unhappy by going with this girl who is, sorry, not up to snuff? Mm. And look what I'm talking about. So this is supposedly William here, right? Well, look where his chin is. See his chin line there? Look at look at his stomach right here, the shirt line. This is a very overweight and looks to be probably normal height guy. Look where he's leaned over kissing this lady. Well, is she standing on the stage? Like, how is that possible? Have you seen how tall he is? Uh-uh. It's not even them. I'm telling y'all, this has got Meghan Markle's fingerprints all over it. Come on, people, look at her. She is gorgeous. Classic beauty, like a Roman statue, classic beauty, like classic beauty, right? And supposedly William is going to take the chance to make his best friend from childhood unhappy. Who believes that he will do that? Nope, not happening. I think this this has Meghan Markle all over it. Andrew lives in the Royal Lodge of Old. This is my opinion, and I am proud of it. Sparkles of truth. You know what I'm going to call it? Schools of thought. We're going back. We're going old school, people. Schools of thought. That's going to be it. I've made my decision. Yeah. Yeah. You saw William, not the same guy. Like I said, look at you can see where his jowls are. And then you can see a little bit of a tire around this guy. See right here? Also on his back. Look at the curve in his back. And he's not having to bend over hardly at all to kiss this lady. Now, look out when William is standing up. He no. This guy doesn't have an ounce of fat on him at all. And the two of them are both like 6 feet tall. She's like 5'11". She's got heels on. They're well over 6 feet, 6'2", 6'7". No, it's not the same guy in the picture. Sorry, Megan. Ha! Foiled again. All right. No, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's fun. All right. So, so what do you think about old school? We're gonna go old school. We're just gonna go back to Jewels of Thought. Or we could call it the Harkles. You want to call it Harkles? Or you want to call it Jewels of Thought? I thought Andrew was out too, critters. I'm with you. The Royal Lodge of Old Windsor. Kate is a natural beauty. She is stunning. Together, the two of them, they are the most beautiful couple in history. Yep. Sparkles of Truth. I do too, Vicky. Everybody calls me that anyway. Never going to get away from it. So, yes, it looks like Meghan Markle's dirty work. It does. All right. Okay, people, I'm done. What do y'all think? We got to build this channel up, though. Only had 7 people here today. That's okay, though. It was fun, wasn't it? It's fun. All right. I got to go. I got some work to do before it gets too late. What time is it? I don't even know where my phone is. It is 3:20. Okay, I really have to go. I can't pretend. I got work to do. All right. I don't know nothing. If y'all learn anything, send me an email at foolsandsages@gmail.com. FOOLC, the letter N like Nancy, SAGEZ at gmail.com. 3:30. Yep. Pam, I'm behind. I got notes I gotta write, so I gotta go. All right. Okay, it was fun to see everybody. Y'all be good here. See y'all later. Bye.